signatures of Donald Trump as a politician are Trump rallies. Right? He obviously does it when he's campaigning. He did it all through his first administration. And he goes to those places where people are economically disadvantaged and they feel left out. And he speaks to them and he says, I feel your pain. What is he saying at those rallies now?
He's only had two of them. I've been to both. One was in Detroit on his 100th day, and then the last one was in Iowa at the fairgrounds on July 3rd.
Compare that to what it was like in the first term.
He would go all about. And I think that... I think this is to the economic point of this here. Number one, for folks that were maybe watching Fox News tonight, getting back to the White House, Donald Trump was still talking to Laura Ingraham tonight from the Oval Office about new plans for the Eisenhower Executive Office building right next door to the White House, and that he's going to paint it all white. There's a 2.5-minute long segment. That is what viewers of Fox News were watching tonight, was his plans for the Eisenhower Executive Office building, painting it from gray to white. The conversation that folks are having, whether they have a small business or a medium-sized business, or if you're one of those farmers out in Iowa, is the uncertainty of the economy moving forward, the uncertainty of their markets. So when we talk about whether he understands the economic implications of his radically changing policies month to month, just for tariffs, for example, I think that he's ignoring the conversations that farmers in the Midwest are having. They are the ones, when you talk about, whether China's going to buy or not, it's the farmers that actually go to China and actually meet the markets and make the sell to buy their goods. It's them that go to Argentina to make the pitch to buy their soybeans. And when Donald Trump says, well, I got China to commit to buying $25 billion worth of whatever, right? That's not what they're looking for. They want to be allowed to do the job that they've been doing for years and years. And so the president, I just think, is out of touch here with those conversations that folks are having about the very ways in which they are operating on it.
Okay, but you can BS the American people about what's happening at the border. You can BS the American people about Ukraine or Venezuela or any of those things. But you can't BS farmers on trade. Like, you can't lie to my mother on the price of London broil. She knows it. And in that, she definitely does. And in that interview with Laura Ingraham, I don't know what they're saying tonight, but last night, when they're talking about the big plan for a 50-year mortgage, he said, it's just 10 years longer than a 40-year mortgage. And she said, there is no 40-year mortgage, right? In that, he says, everything's cheaper. Well, not beef. Okay, not beef. And she goes, and not coffee. And he says, well, we're going to work on lowering the price of coffee. Right there admitting that it's the tariffs that he has imposed. That's the reason coffee is so expensive. So he BS's the American people, as does Scott Bessent, who said on television today, I don't believe that tariffs are a tax on the American consumer. If they're not a tax on the American consumer,